Good morning all the students of class 10th. Yes, today we are going to start literature. And in the literature we have two books. First one is The First Flight and second one is Footprints Without Feet. But today we will start first book, The First Flight, and the name of the chapter and first chapter is this book, and name of the chapter is A Letter to God. This is our chapter. Yes, my dear students, today we will going to start this chapter. And before you read, if you want to read, they say faith can move mountains, but what should we put our faith in? This is the question this story dedicatedly poses it used for money. Yes, first all of you will discuss what is the main idea of the story. This story is written by G.L. Fluence. This is the name of writer, and the story begins with farmer, and the name of the farmer Lenko. Lenko is a farmer here, and he worked very hard just like an animal in the field, but still he knew how to write. That's why he is very confident in the God. And this story setting is Latin American country, and in the due to some hailstorm, all the crops of his farmer ruined by the hailstorm. Then he wrote a letter to God. Does God help him? Then how to help him? So we will know the answer of the question. We must read the whole chapter. Yes, first page, when we change the scroll or page, we can get here. This is the postcard, and in the previous time, in the ancient time, before some years, we used this type of postcard to letter, and now we are also using some persons, but not all the persons, because most of the persons use here email ID वगैरह, many things. So our chapter is start here. The house, the only one thing entire valley, sat on the crest of low hill. Yes, there was one house in the valley on the top of the hill. Yes, from this height one could see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted with flowers that always promised a good harvest. From that height anyone was able to see field, ripe corn, rivers, and all the things. Yes, the only thing the earth needed some water. The only thing earth needed was downpour, or at least a shower. Throughout the morning, Lenko, who knew his field intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. In the whole morning, all the morning, he was looking at into the sky because the earth needed some water. In the next paragraph, now we were really going to get some water. Then Lenko, you know, Lenko is the main protagonist of the chapter. You know already, I told you earlier. Then Lenko told his wife. What he told her? Woman. The woman was preparing supper. Supper, you know, supper, it means we can use here breakfast. Woman was preparing breakfast in the kitchen, and she replied from there. Yes, God willing. God willing is used here. It means it's depend on the God. But there the older boys were working in the field. Yes, my dear students, older boys were working in the field and smaller boys were playing near the house. until their mother called him for dinner. It was during that, just as, next page, Lenko had predicted, big drops of rain began to fall. Yes, it's depend on the god. The older boys we discussed already here. It was the dinner time, and the dinner time Lenko predicted. What he predicted? He predicted that big drops of rain began to fall. Yes, he predicted that today we will getting some rain. That's why next, in the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching, and he saw big clouds were approaching towards from the east side, and the air was fresh and sweet. Yes, due to raining, some fresh air and sweet air was coming towards him. The man, who is the man? The man is the Lenko. Yes, we are talking about Lenko. Lenko went out for no other reason. Just he went out of the house and he wanted to enjoy the raindrops on his body. That's why he went out of the house. There aren't raindrops falling from the sky. They are new coins. The big drops are 10 cents and pieces, and the little ones are 5. Yes, my dear students, in this paragraph, he was telling his wife and children that big drops of water, rain, not the drops of water, these are equal to 10 cents. 10 cents or pieces or pesos, we can understand here. And smaller coins, smaller drops of equal to 5 pieces. Yes, in the next paragraph, Garmi. In the next paragraph, we will know, with a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flower, draped in a curtain of rain. But suddenly a strong wind began. But when the raining was very good, but after some time, the raining turned into and started. Wind began to blow, and along the rain with large hailstorm began to fall. These truly didn't resemble new silver coins. The boys, exposing themselves to the rain, ran out to collect frozen pearls. But after some time, rain turned into hailstorm, and hailstones, there were a lot of rainstones out of the house, and smaller boys went out of the house and collect all the frozen pearls, just like we collected in our childhood. Yes. Then the next paragraph. It's really getting bad now, exclaimed the man. Lenko exclaimed that now these hailstorms are very, very bad now, getting very bad now. And I hope it passes. Who is I? Lenko. Lenko, it means we can use here he. He hoped it passes quickly. He wanted that these hailstones passed quickly from here, but it wasn't passed quickly from there. That's why for an hour the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, all the whole valley. But for an hour, in a single hour, the whole valley, just like we can understand in this line, for an hour the hail rained on the house, on the garden, on the hillside, the cornfield, on the whole valley covered with white salt. The field was white. Why it was white? Because field are green always, but in this after hailstorm, the field was white as if covered with salt. That's why the whole valley was looking white. Yes. Not a leaf remained on the tree. The corn was totally destroyed. The whole field was destroyed. Not a single leaf on the tree we can see there. The flowers were gone from the plants. Lenko's soul was filled with sad. Now he was very sadness. Who felt? The Lenko felt here very sadness because all his crops has been ruined due to the rain storm. Yes. The flowers were gone from the plants. Yes, we discussed already. Then the next, when the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and said to his sons. Yes, my dear students, after passing the storm, he went into the middle of the field. Whose field? Lenko's field. He went into his own field, and in the middle of the field he was standing, and he felt very, very sad there. A plague of locusts. Locusts, you know, टिड्डी. टिड्डी we can understand here, जो एक पूरे ग्रुप के अंदर आती है. Insect, you can understand here the meaning of this. Yes, here locusts, insect which fly in big swarm groups and destroy crops. एक ऐसी चीज़ है जिससे क्या हो जाता है कि पूरे के पूरे खेत, पूरी के पूरी फील्ड डिस्ट्रॉय हो सकती है, बर्बाद हो सकती है. That's why he was telling his son, filled and said to his sons, a plague of locusts would. Yes, you can understand here and you can see the picture. This one is the Lenko and this is the field which was very totally white due to the rain storm. That's why he was feeling very, very sad here. This is the picture of the Lenko and his field, and the whole field we can able to understand here, or we can watch here that the whole field was white. Yes. In the next page, have left more than this. He was telling to his son that अगर टिड्डी भी वहाँ पर आ जाती खेत के अंदर, लोकट से पूरे ग्रुप के अंदर जो कुछ नहीं छोड़ती है, बट उस कुछ तो छोड़ जाता है. बट hell has left nothing. But with in this rain, in this hailstorm, we had nothing. This year we will have no corn, and in this year we don't have to eat. That night was a sorrowful one, and that night was sorrowful for him. For whom? Lenko and his family. The whole night was very, very sorrowful. Yes, all our work for nothing. There is no one who can help us. We will all go hungry this year. Yes, my dear students, he was telling his family that there is only single house on the valley and there no one can help us. We will go hungry this year. This is the first part of our chapter, and now oral comprehension and comprehension we will discuss after completing the chapter. All the question answer we will discuss. That's why we can continue here. Next. Yes. But in the heart of all who lived in the solitary house in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope, help from God. But I told you earlier, Lenko, who is very confident that God will help him, and he told his family that no one will die of hunger because God will help him. And he told his family, don't be so upset, even though this seems like a total loss. He told his family, don't be so upset. If we destroyed everything, remember one thing, no one dies of hunger. You must remember one thing. Who is telling? Lenko told his family. What he was telling, he told his family that no one dies of hunger. That's why they say no one dies of hunger. All the night Lenko thought only of his one hope. The whole night he was thinking about only his one hope, and the hope of God. Yes, we know. He has only one hope, and hope of God, whose eyes as he had been instructed see everything, even what is deep in the one's conscience. Its meaning here we can see in this bracket, an inner sense of right and wrong. Yes, you know, Lenko was an ox of a man working like an animal in the field. Yes, my dear students, we must understand here, Lenko is a very, very hard working man, and he worked like an animal in the field, but still he knew how to write. But he knew how to write the follow. That's why the following Sunday at daybreak, it means in the early in the morning, you can understand here, he began to write a letter which he himself would carry to town and place in the mail. It was nothing less than a letter to God. In the early in the morning, he wrote a letter to his, and he wanted to post the letter. God, he wrote in the letter, God, he wrote, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. He wrote in the letter that, God, if you will not help me, then I and my family will go hunger this year. And I need 100 pesos in order to sow my field again and to live until the crop comes, because the hailstorm. And he mentioned in the letter that due to the hailstorm, my whole crops of field and corn field was destroyed. 2. So again I need 100 pesos. Pesos is the currency of here, and we can understand here this meaning. Peso it means currency of several Latin American country. Yes, peso is used for Latin American countries. It means currency. Yes, paise, rupee, you know very well about it. Yes, he wrote to God on the envelope, put the letter inside, and still troubled went to town. And with the trouble he went to the town. At the post office, he placed a stamp on the letter and dropped it into the mailbox. He wrote the letter and placed and completed the letter and put it into the mailbox. Yes, my dear students. Next. Yes, he put the letter in the mailbox. One of the employees, who was a postman from there in the post office, a postman, and also helped at the post office, went to his boss laughing heartily and showed him the letter to God. Yes, first time a postman saw the letter and he laughed very much, because laughed heartily and showed the letter to God, and he showed the letter to his boss. Boss, you can understand here that boss is used for the postmaster of the post office. Yes, laughing. Yeah, next. Never in his career as a postman had he known that address. In his career of the post, here we can understand here, postmaster told that I never see this type of address in my career. The postmaster, yes, we must understand here, the postmaster fat, it means healthy, mota, jo rehta hai. But he was amiable. Amiable, it means yes, my dear student. Amiable, friendly and pleasant. Amiable का मतलब क्या होगा? Friendly. मीन्स वो फेट जरूर था बट ही वॉज वेरी फ्रेंडली. यस. नेक्स्ट. फेलो आल्सो ब्रोक आउट लाफिंग. आफ्टर लुकिंग द लेटर he was also laughed. He was laughing, but almost immediately he turned into serious and tapping the letter on the desk and commented. After laughing, just after some time, he turned into the serious and tapping the letter. Tapping the letter, it means this is our book. You can understand here. This is the letter. He tapping just like it. The letter and commented. He told to his employees that all the postmen, what a faith, faith, trust, believe, जो आजकल हम लोगों एक दूसरे पे नहीं होता है, इतना ज़्यादा फेथ था उसको इस पे. आई विश आई हैड द फेथ ऑफ द मैन हु रोड दिस लेटर स्टार्टिंग अप करेस्पॉन्डेंस विथ गॉड. ही वॉज सरप्राइज्ड. हु इज सरप्राइज्ड? द postmaster. The postmaster very much surprised that what a faith in the God, and we know very well that Lenko is very, very confident of God. Next. So in order not to shake the writer's faith in God, so here postmaster wanted to help him because he doesn't want to destroy our faith of God. It means भरोसा बनाए रखने के लिए द पोस्ट मास्टर केम अप विद एन आइडिया. ही गॉट एन आइडिया. हु गॉट एन आइडिया? पोस्ट मास्टर. यस, पोस्ट मास्टर गॉट एन आइडिया. आंसर द लेटर. वी मस्ट आंसर द लेटर. बट हाउ? इन द लेटर ही डिमांडेड rupees. But when he opened it, it was evident that answer it needed some more than goodwill, because Lenko wanted more than goodwill. It means he wanted here, he needed some money. How much? We will understand next. Ink and the paper, but he stuck to his resolution. He asked for money for his employees. The postmaster told his employees that we should collect some money, and he himself gave a part of his salary, and the postmaster also gave a big part of his salary. Yes. And there several friends of his were obliged to give something for an act of charity, and all the person yes, my dear students, we can understand here all the students wanted, not students, all the persons of the post office wanted to give their share in the charity, an act of charity. It was impossible for him to gather the 100 peso. Yes, Lenko demanded in the letter 100 pesos, but the postmaster, the postman and other employees of the post office collected the money, but they were not able to collect 100 pesos. Yes. So he was able to send the farmer only little more than half. मीन्स आधे से थोड़े से ज़्यादा. इट मीन्स 100, 50 more than 50. He put the money in an envelope and addressed to Lenko, and with it a letter containing only a single word as a signature, God. And they put the money in the envelope and addressed to Lenko, and on the envelope there was only one sign, one letter, and letter one, which one is? God. Yes, my dear students, two parts. Second part also completed of this chapter, and now oral comprehension check. Whom or what did Lenko have faith? What did he कैसा फेथ था, किस पे फेथ था, क्या था, हम आंसर दे सकते हैं बहुत आसानी से. बट वी विल कंटिन्यू आवर चैप्टर. क्वेश्चन आंसर सब एक साथ करेंगे हम. यस, इन द थर्ड पार्ट, the following Sunday, Lenko came a bit earlier than usual to ask if there was a letter for him. And in the next Sunday and the following Sunday, he went to the post office as early as usual every time. It was the postman himself who handed the letter to him while the postmaster, oh sorry कुछ छोड़ दिया अपन ने यहाँ से. yes, it was the postman himself who handed the letter to him while the postmaster expressing the contentment it used here, we can understand here, satisfaction. The postman also wanted to see the satisfaction of the Lenko, and the postmaster also looking from the window to whom he was looking towards the Lenko, and they wanted to see the reaction of the Lenko. That's why. But Lenko is a Lenko. Yes, he is very very confident. गर्मी आ रही है यार. Looked, Lenko showed not the slightest surprise on the seeing the money, but after seeing the money, Lenko didn't surprise. Such was his confidence, because he was very much confident, but he became angry when he counted the money. After counting the money, he was very angry. Why he was very angry? Because God couldn't have made a mistake, because he is very very confident that God couldn't have any mistake, nor could have denied Lenko. मतलब भगवान ना तो गलती कर सकते हैं और ना ही लेंको को मना कर सकते हैं. What he had requested, जो भी what he requested, he is used here for Lenko, and Lenko requested in the letter, he demanded or requested 100 pesos. Immediately Lenko went up to the window to ask for paper and ink, and again Lenko went to the where? Towards the window and took the paper and ink. On the public writing table he started to write, and he was sitting on the public table and started to writing with much wrinkling of his brow, caused by the effort he had to make to express his ideas, and all his ideas, all his thoughts he expressed in the letter. When he finished, after finishing the letter, after completing the letter, or after writing the letter, he went to the window to buy a stamp which legged and fixed to. Yes, you can see the envelope with a blow of his fist. Yes, see the picture. This is the post office, this one is the Lenko, is the postman here, and you can understand here this is the post office. The whole picture of in the book we can see here. Continue, we will do. The moment the letter fell into the mailbox, and finally the moment has been come that which moment? Lenko kept the letter, fell the letter into the mailbox. The postmaster went to open it. It said, God of money that asked for only 17 pesos raised me. And again in the second time, when he wrote second time the letter, he mentioned in the letter that God, I demanded for 100 pesos, but you sent me only 70 pesos. I know you sent me 100 pesos, but the employees of the, yes, but don't send it me through the mail because the post office employees are bunch of crooks. Yes, he told in the letter that, God, you send me 100 pesos. I know very well because you couldn't make a mistake. But don't send, but in the second time don't send the money with the mailbox because all the employees of this office are bunch of crooks. मतलब कि पैसे तो आपने पूरे भेजे होंगे, लेकिन जो 30 पेसोज ऊपर के थे वो यहाँ के ऑफिस वालों ने निकाल लिए होंगे बिकॉज ऑल द एम्प्लॉयज आर बंच ऑफ क्रूक्स एंड ही साइंड इन द एंड ऑफ द लेटर लेंको. यस माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स, दिस इज नाउ oral comprehension, then thinking about the text, then practice. Yes, but our chapter is over. We completed our chapter in this video, and in the next video or the following video we will discuss question answer, but first of all we will complete the explanation of the chapters. Yes, thank you very much. Do you have any problem, you can ask me whatever problem you have related to topic. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.